So the engine turning is now completed, and it's probably taken about, I'd say about 2 hours to get to this stage. It's, as you can see, it's very, very time consuming, needs a great deal of concentration, because the slightest mistake and the dial is just ruined. Now traditionally, going back hundreds of years, all engine turning dials would have been made on engines like this. Nowadays in mass production, an engine turn dial will more than likely have been stamped out, really just simply because of the labour that's involved in creating the dial. Now, engine turning really isn't a traditional watchmaker's skill, but when George was making his pocket watches back in the 1960s, it was a skill that he had to learn, because in England there's very few people around capable of engine turning to the standard that George required. Basically, it's a lost art, and so George just took it upon himself to buy these machines, restore them, and start to teach himself how to engine turn. So for me as a watchmaker, when I came to work with George, it's a great experience for me to be able to get to handle engines like this. And George sat me down one day and started to take me through the basic operation of the machine. And then basically what he did was to, he left me with a pile of silver, and he said, well, you better get on with it. And I just practiced and practiced and practiced. And the whole process took weeks, months, and it was probably about 6 months before I was turning out a reasonable dial. And I remember one day George came in and I'd had 9 dials sitting there all completed, and 6 of them were thrown in the bin, just simply because they weren't to the right standard. And so it's back to square one and learning again. And it's a skill that's really develops over the years, and I've now been engine turning for probably about 12 years now, and it's something that year on year you improve, and you have to get used to the machine, and you have to learn every single intricacy or character of the machine, and once you've learned that, then you can start to do really good, really great engine turning. So it's a valuable skill, and something which I'm very fortunate to have been had the opportunity to use. And it just means that we can keep the art of high-grade watchmaking continuing, and obviously keep the art of engine turning at this very, very high level, to keep it sort of alive and current today for the bespoke handmade watch.